All right, everybody. Welcome to Bleacher Takes. As usual, I'm your host, Joe. Bleacher Takes is your home for everything that a 22-year-old guy might find interesting to talk about. We talk about a variety of topics. We've talked about anime, we've talked about baseball, and today we're going to be jumping back into baseball and specifically talk about the Yankees. And if you paid attention to the games today, you know exactly what I'm about to talk about. I don't even know what happened. I don't really want to talk about it, but I feel like I have to because I guess need to vent about it. And you know, it was not a fun game to watch after the fifth inning. So for those of you who didn't watch the game and haven't been over social media to see what happened, um, the Yankees started off with a phenomenal start. Uh, jumped out to a 6-0 lead after 5 innings. Beautiful. They had a beautiful, dominant start from Cole. He was pitching his usual lights out. Retired 13 of the first 17 hitters he faced. He had a little bit of a snag in the fifth, and it was pretty clear that he just didn't have it anymore for the game. That's probably going to be it for him. Get out of the fifth. 6-0 lead with Gerrit Cole on the mound. Usually you think there's no way you're losing this game. But, Aaron Boone being the absolute genius that he is, decided not to give Cole a hook after the fifth, which, all right, he had a rough inning in the fifth. Sent him back after the sixth. You would think a guy like Cole, he's gonna pick it back up, be dominant again, shake it off. Maybe the fatigue's starting to show a little bit, but it's Gerrit Cole. He should be able to get the job done for another inning, 2/3 inning while you warm someone up. Nope. It was pretty clear he didn't have it, like I said, and I definitely would have pulled him after that fifth. He's in line for the win, got a 6-0 win lead. Your bullpen, as abysmal as it's been this year, can't possibly screw that up, right? The bats are hot to start. He should be good. Nope. They find a way. Going into the sixth inning, the Rays score 6 runs and tie the game off Cole. After it was 6-0. He gave up a 3-run homer, 6-3. All right, big whoop. It's just the first homer he would have given up. It's his first homer given up all year. He's got a good start. He's had a very marginal and above average start at that point. A very still solid start. You pull him at that point, he walks off. Still in line for the win. League leading ERA. It's going up a little bit, but no big deal. That's a very dominant, strong start from him. Nope. Aaron, the genius Boone, decides to let him fight it out, and he gives up 3 more runs to tie the game. Boom. I mean, yeah, only 5 of them were earned, but he still gave up 6 runs. Like, you got to take him out. I don't understand how you leave him in after the home run to begin with, but I'm not getting paid millions of dollars to run a baseball team. The clown, Aaron the Clown Boone is so he knows more than us. Clearly. I'm fucking. Oh, excuse my language. Sorry about that. I am 22 years old, sitting in a college apartment. So, yeah, he's way more qualified than me, but I don't understand how you don't see these things on TV when you're sitting right there. It's your job to see it. You're getting paid like you understand what you're doing, and you come up in a way that's just you screw it up. All right, you get them out of there, tie game, it happens. You bring in your relievers, and immediately they absolutely just make another mind-boggling mistake. Runner on second, steal on third, little tapper back to the mound with no outs. Any normal human being that's ever played a single game of baseball knows you field that ball, you look back the runner to third, make sure he's not rounding the bag. He's not rounding the bag. You got more than enough time to get the runner at first. You could sit there and look at the runner for a solid second, and then you throw to first. No problems. 1 out, runner on third. Nope. This guy decides to, give a peek, see he's not even at third yet, and just throw to first. Lollygaggingly lob it to first. And, you allow that runner to round third base and get home without a throw being made to the plate. Love that, 7-6 Rays. So, Gerrit Cole, you already aren't in line for the win, but no decision. There you go. Boom. Happy days. That's just, the beginning. The Yankees are able to tie the game up later on a Trevino RBI single. Beautiful. Love that man. Give another All-Star game appearance. I still can't believe he turned out the way he did for a last second start of the season acquisition last year. Beautiful. Can't say enough about how much I like him. One of probably top 5 defensive catcher in the game. Gets a jump out of the play when he needs to. He's got that clutch gene in him. Great. 7-7. And you end the game. You end the 9 innings. Go to extras. Bats are just cold as usual. What else is new with the Yankees? Cold bats can't get a runner in to save their lives. What else is new? Same script as every day, every year, every season, no matter who the players, coaches, anything is. It happens, not, I hate to say it, but I was not in any way, shape, or form shocked about that. 10th inning, run around second, roll, single to right field, game's over. Yankees lose 8-7. And it's just, you can't, I can't, I don't understand how this happens. Dropped to 18-17, now 10 full games out of first place to the Rays. You're above 500, but that's all you can say about that. This division is a powerhouse. It eats itself alive every year, and these are the games you need. You can't give games like this away, especially to the first place team when you are fighting for your life in last place, especially when it's the best team in the league in the Rays, and you should have taken 2 or 3 to take the series. It's just, you go from a series win in the books after 5 innings to you just lost the series in probably one of the most embarrassing fashions so far to start the season. Yeah, but for some positives of the day, at least for the first half of the game, the lineup actually had some life in it. Anthony Rizzo got the job done as usual, solo blast to start off the game. Love that guy. It's the Italian in him. I love it. He's got that sweet, sweet lefty swing. You can't get a pitch by him. Even if you try to throw it at his hands, he's still turning on and get to put him into the seats. I love him. I am so glad they re-signed him again this year. Can't say enough about him. Someone I got a lot to say about. Harrison Bader, baby. Oh, what an animal. Been back for 3 games, and he is showing why he was hungry to start the season. Had a very bad rehab assignment in Dublin's AAA, but he is firing on all cylinders. 2 homers, had a triple and a single tonight. He was only a double away from a cycle. You can't beat that. A guy coming fresh out of a rehab assignment, just firing all cylinders out of the gate. I love it. I am very excited for the season to keep going with him in the lineup. I have some optimism, but again, it's ruined by the pitching woes again this season. Every year it's something. In the previous years, it's been the pitching. They haven't had the pitchers to get it done. And, you can blame it on injuries, but they finally have the rotation they need. Yeah, half the rotation is injured. Rodon, will he ever pitch a game for the Yankees? Who knows? His back's bothering him. He's got chronic back stuff now. He's getting shots to try to come back quicker because he wants to compete. He wants to win for this team. And, I love that from him. I just don't want him to hurt himself more trying to hustle back to help this team out, and then we lose him for longer. And, they gave up some big pieces for him, and I would hate for that to go to waste. Hate for a high ace level pitcher to miss more time because he's trying to help the team too much. Take your time, but get back quick, please. But please. The bullpen, it continues to be a disaster. There's not one single arm right now that I feel confident in and comfortable with on the mound, especially in a close game. Clay Holmes has been a disaster since the second half of last season. They didn't give him. He pitched in the 7th today. There wasn't a safe situation to begin with, so I'm just glad they didn't put him in it because, as dominant as he was in the first half last year, he lost it. I don't know what happened. He can get the job done enough in games where you're not too worried, but he still has those games where you're just scratching your head like, what the hell were you doing today? Until Loaisiga comes back, he's got to be this. I think Jonathan Loaisiga's got to be the closer when he gets back. I don't see any other way to make this bullpen and rotation work without that. He's the only one that shows any signs of life usually. I just hope he comes back strong like he was towards the end of last year and the beginning of this year before he got hurt. The rotation really needs to step it up and get healthy. I talked about Rodon needing him back. That's a huge piece. That is a high #1 level starter. That's an ace caliber level pitcher coming back, and he's your #2. You got Garrett Cole's been the best pitcher in baseball to start the year. Well, debatable with Shohei Ohtani, but you know what I mean. For someone whose name isn't Shohei Ohtani, so that's not an alien, an absolute monster that we're not, that's not the best baseball player in the history of the world. Garrett Cole's been the best pitcher in baseball. That's your ace. You expect that out of him. He's been carrying the pitching rotation and the team pretty much all year. And then Nestor Cortez started out so strong, and then he's just been pitching like honestly like shit recently, and it's kind of annoying after the season he had last year. Everyone loves Nasty Nestor, but he's got to pick it up. Like he's had a couple rough starts in a row after a phenomenal start, but that's that. I'm very much looking forward to the return of Luis Severino. He seems to be getting closer and closer with that lat strain. You don't want to rush that, obviously. You don't want him to re-aggravate that. That is hard to come back from. I know that hurts. He's getting some rehab starts coming soon, and hopefully he'll be back here in the major leagues and be able to contribute, because when he's healthy, he is a high level #2 starter with ace material, with ace potential. Sorry. He's shown he can do it in the past when he's healthy. And if we can get a core four pitching of Cole at the 1, Rodon at the 2, Severino at the 3, and Nestor at the 4, we're looking pretty golden. And even someone like Domingo Germán has had a pretty good start to the year with that one fantastic start. Was he using some substances? It's very possible. I actually didn't watch that game, but I read a lot about it. And, he didn't get thrown out. They checked in twice. They made him wash his hands, and he was just as dominant after he washed whatever was on his hands off, whether it was just rosin and sweat, because, careful, don't mention that to Max Scherzer, or else he's going to probably break into your house. That man's a psycho. But, I still think, off topic, I still think that was kind of awful. That was kind of BS. They threw him out for that. That is, gave him a 10-game suspension for that. It's ridiculous. It's rosin and sweat. It sticks, especially when the umpires force you to go try to clean your hands off with alcohol. It's going to get sticky at that point. That's on the umpires. It's stupid. Back to topic. That's going to be a nasty lineup if they're healthy and effective. They don't even need all 4 of them. 5, if you count Germán being somewhat effective. You don't need all 5 of them to be effective at the same time. Just get 3 out of the 5 of them being really good on a consistent basis, and this team can pick it back up and go far. That being said, they can't do it all by themselves. The lineup needs to get some life back into it. With Judge being hurt for this last week, they haven't had a single shred of energy. It's kind of annoying. Last year, the lineup was what was the downfall of the team, as well as the pitching, but it was more the lineup going cold in August. The Yankees were at the All-Star break. If they had gone 500 from that point on, they were winning 96 games. They ended up at 99. They barely went over 500 from that point forward. Most of that was the lineup not being able to hit a bucket of water being thrown at them. They couldn't hit like the water coming down from the Great Wolf Lodge bucket with the bats last year, and it feels the same way this year. And aside from guys like Judge and currently Harrison Bader, I'm not really confident in anyone. Gleyber Torres had a phenomenal, super hot start to the year. He cooled off, went into a little slump. He's been working his way back up. Anthony Volpe's been getting some juice into his bat as the season goes on. He's a rookie. It's expected that something like this would happen. He's starting to pick it up. He's really making it happen in the field and on the base paths, and I'm very happy for that. Shout out Anthony Volpe, another Morris County guy. Played against him in high school. Let's just say we did not win that game. Rizzo's been what you expect from Rizzo. When Stanton comes back in a couple weeks, hopefully, he gets that groin or hamstring. I kind of even forget what it was. Something legs with him. It's always something like that. Keep him in the field more than DHing. I've been saying it for I don't even know how long. The more he plays the field, the healthier he stays, because he's moving. He's not thinking about it. He plays so much better. But people are going to use this to say he's brittle again. It's though I'm so sick of the base running injuries from him. But he should be back soon. Give more pop to this lineup. He has the potential to hit 250 to 280. I think on a real good effective time. That's all you need from him. Add in 30 homers on the year. Boom, happy. I'm happy with that. It's a good lineup. It's the alarm bells are really ringing for some people. It's too early for that. It's I hate, I hate saying, I hate when people say that these games don't mean anything because they really do. You get some games the last couple of years where, you lose the division by a game, half a game, 2 games, and then, that's when you go back to saying, oh, if only they won that game in May. But, when you're losing these games, people are saying, oh, it's just May, who cares? These are the games that really set the tone for the season. And, last place, it sucks. Plain and simple. Being 1 game over 500 at this point of the season and last place, you don't expect this, especially as a Yankee fan. You're expecting a dogfight for first place at this point, league leaders in most categories. And, it's not what you want to see. It looks terrible, but the bright side is, like I said earlier, if you want to take any positive out of this game, it's that they should have taken 2 or 3 from the best team in the league on the road this weekend. But, some lovely turn of events, and they lost the series and remain in last place and treading water above 500. 18 and 17, a lot of season to go. My hopes are still up. I'm still optimistic. It's just spur of the moment, feeling real down about it, and should be getting a lot of juice back with Judge hopefully this week on Tuesday. Hopefully he comes back strong and fast. Hopefully we have a Bader-like return, and he starts swatting some home runs, nailing some guys from the outfield wall. That man's not human. 6'7" of non-human, atoms. That man is not human, and I love that he's a Yankee for the next 9 years, 8 years. Well, rant over. Thanks for listening. As always, this is Bleacher Takes, and I'm Joe. Catch you next time. I'll be catching you tomorrow. Gonna be talking about some more sports takes, most likely baseball, with my buddy Drew and maybe some other people. But thanks for listening, guys, and until next time.